Ladies and gentlemen, progress has always been the heartbeat of human civilization. It has taken us from caves to cities, from handwritten letters to instant messages, from simple tools to artificial intelligence. Yet, behind every leap forward lies an unspoken truth. Progress demands a price, and that price is often pain. Pain is not merely physical suffering, it is sacrifice, discomfort, and struggle. To achieve growth, we must leave behind comfort zones, embrace challenges, and endure setbacks. No invention was born without countless failures, no leader rose without hardship, and no personal transformation ever occurred without resistance. History itself testifies to this truth. Thomas Edison endured over 1,000 failed attempts before giving the world the light bulb. Malala Yousafzai paid in blood to speak for education. Athletes push their bodies through pain to reach glory. Entrepreneurs risk sleepless nights, failures, and rejections before success arrives. Why is pain so closely tied to progress? Because pain is a teacher. It strips away illusions, strengthens resilience, and sharpens determination. Without pain, progress loses its meaning. Without struggle, achievement feels hollow. So, the next time you encounter pain in your journey, do not curse it. Welcome it as a companion of growth, a silent partner of success, and a reminder that you are moving forward. Because the truth is simple, the price of progress is pain, but the reward is transformation. Thank you. Pain is the price of growth when we talk about progress, whether in personal life, career, relationships, or even the advancement of nations. One truth becomes undeniable: growth never comes free of charge. The price tag attached to growth is often pain. Not necessarily just physical pain, but the discomfort of leaving behind what is familiar, the frustration of failure, the sting of criticism, and the exhaustion of perseverance. Think about the human body itself. For a child to grow taller, their bones stretch, their muscles expand, and sometimes they even experience what we call growing pains. It is a natural reminder that even in biology, progress is not effortless. Similarly, in life, whenever we aspire to become better versions of ourselves, we must go through experiences that hurt us, stretch us, and challenge us. Consider students who stay awake late into the night to prepare for exams. The pain of sleepless nights, the fatigue, and the stress become their currency for academic success. Athletes push through physical pain, training until their muscles ache, sacrificing leisure, and enduring strict discipline to stand victorious in the arena. Entrepreneurs pour their energy, time, and even their finances into dreams that may fail many times before they succeed. In all of these journeys, the pattern is the same: pain precedes progress. One of the greatest illusions people fall into is the belief that progress can be achieved without sacrifice. We wish for success without failure, knowledge without study, fitness without sweat, and growth without discomfort. But reality is far less forgiving. Life has a way of reminding us that comfort is the enemy of growth. When we remain in comfort zones, nothing changes. It is only when we step into the unknown, endure setbacks, and embrace challenges that transformation begins. Pain, in many ways, acts as life's natural filter. It separates the dreamers from the doers. Many people dream of achieving greatness, but only those willing to endure pain are the ones who achieve it. Pain tests commitment. It asks, how much do you really want this? If your desire outweighs your suffering, you continue. If not, you stop. Thus, pain acts not as a barrier, but as a measuring stick for determination. Think of a seed planted deep in the soil. To become a tree, it must break open, push through layers of dirt, and fight for sunlight. That process is not painless, but only through that struggle does the seed transform into something magnificent. Human beings are no different. We must go through seasons of struggle to blossom into our potential. Moreover, pain has a unique way of shaping character. Each difficulty endured builds resilience. Each sacrifice strengthens discipline. Each heartbreak deepens empathy. Growth is not just about achieving more. It is about becoming more. Pain, therefore, is not an enemy to fear, but a companion to respect, for it molds us into stronger, wiser, and more capable versions of ourselves. So, the next time you find yourself facing a painful situation, whether it's rejection, failure, or struggle, remember this: you are not being punished, you are being prepared, you are not being destroyed, you are being developed. The pain you feel today is carving out the strength you will need tomorrow. And when progress finally arrives, you will realize that the pain you endured was not a burden, but an investment. In the end, pain is the unavoidable price of growth. But the beauty lies in the fact that the returns are always greater than the sacrifice. Those who are willing to pay the price will always find that progress is worth every ounce of pain. History proves progress is built on struggle. If there is any doubt that pain is the price of progress, history itself stands as undeniable proof. Every great leap humanity has taken has been accompanied by hardship, sacrifice, and perseverance in the face of suffering. Progress has never been a gift handed down easily. It has always been the outcome of relentless struggle. Consider Thomas Edison, one of the greatest inventors in history. He failed more than 1,000 times before successfully creating the light bulb. Imagine the frustration, the doubt, the criticism he must have faced each time his experiment ended in failure. Yet, Edison himself famously remarked, "I have not failed. I've just found 10 zeros, zero ways that won't work." That mindset turned his pain into progress, and because of his endurance, the world was literally illuminated. History is full of such examples. Nelson Mandela endured 27 years in prison for standing against apartheid. Every day behind bars was a reminder of the pain he was paying for justice and equality. Yet, when he finally emerged, he became not only the first Black president of South Africa, but also a global symbol of resilience and reconciliation. Without his struggle, the progress of his nation toward freedom would not have been possible. Think of the Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur, who pioneered human flight. They faced skepticism, ridicule, and endless failures. Their test flights often ended in crashes and injuries. But without those painful failures, humanity would never have known the joy of soaring through the skies. The planes we board today are the fruits of their persistence through hardship. Scientific progress, too, has often been written in the ink of sacrifice. Marie Curie, the first woman to win a Nobel Prize and the only person to win it in 2 different sciences, dedicated her life to studying radioactivity. She endured long hours of grueling research in poor laboratory conditions. Tragically, her work eventually cost her health and life due to radiation exposure. Yet, her discoveries paved the way for advancements in medicine, including cancer treatments. Her story reminds us that the comforts we enjoy today were purchased through the suffering of those who came before us. Even nations are built on the foundation of pain. The freedom we cherish today, the rights we enjoy, the progress of democracy, all were bought with blood, sweat, and sacrifice. Leaders, activists, and ordinary people have marched, protested, endured imprisonment, and even given their lives so that future generations could live in a better world. The pattern is clear. Progress is not achieved in moments of ease, but in seasons of struggle. The painful journeys of inventors, leaders, and pioneers throughout history remind us that sacrifice is not optional. It is essential. Every comfort we have today is a luxury bought at the cost of someone else's endurance. Why is this important to remember? Because when we face our own struggles, we often believe we are alone in our pain. We feel like we are being unfairly tested. But history teaches us the opposite. Struggle is not an exception, it is the rule. Every human advancement, every personal transformation, and every societal breakthrough has been carried on the shoulders of pain. This truth should inspire us rather than discourage us. If Edison could endure thousands of failures, if Mandela could survive decades of imprisonment, if Marie Curie could sacrifice her health for discovery, then surely we can endure the temporary pains of our own journey. Their struggles paved the path for the progress we now enjoy, and our struggles today will pave the way for the generations to come. Pain builds resilience and strength. If there is one gift that pain consistently offers, it is the gift of resilience. Pain may feel like an enemy in the moment, but in reality, it is a silent trainer, shaping us into stronger, braver, and more capable versions of ourselves. Progress is not just about achieving new milestones. It is about becoming someone who can endure, adapt, and thrive even in the toughest of circumstances. And that strength only comes through pain. Let us consider how resilience is built. Imagine lifting weights in the gym. The first time you pick up a heavy barbell, your muscles strain, tremble, and ache. The next day, soreness sets in, and it feels uncomfortable. But as days pass and you continue training, your muscles grow stronger, your endurance improves, and what once felt impossible begins to feel natural. The pain you endured during those first workouts wasn't meaningless. It was the very process that built your strength. Life works the same way. Every challenge we face, every setback we endure, every disappointment we overcome is like a weight added to our inner gym. It hurts at first. It feels heavy and unbearable. But if we persist, that very pain expands our capacity, teaching us to handle more tomorrow than we could handle today. Without that pain, we would remain weak, fragile, and unprepared for life's bigger challenges. Pain also builds mental toughness. Think of a student who repeatedly fails exams yet chooses not to quit. Each failure hurts deeply. It stings the ego, it shakes confidence, but by choosing to rise again, the student develops perseverance. That perseverance later becomes a powerful asset in all areas of life. Similarly, entrepreneurs who experience failure after failure often emerge not only with better business strategies, but with unshakable determination. They learn to handle rejection, doubt, and uncertainty with strength. Their resilience becomes the foundation of their eventual success. One of the most powerful aspects of pain is that it teaches us patience. In an age where people desire instant result, instant success, instant recognition, instant rewards, pain slows us down and forces us to wait. Waiting is uncomfortable, struggle is exhausting, but in enduring it, we learn the value of persistence. We learn that progress is not a sprint but a marathon, and resilience is the fuel that keeps us going when we feel like stopping. Moreover, pain develops empathy and compassion. When you have endured hardship, you understand what it means to suffer. This understanding allows you to connect with others more deeply. Leaders who have experienced pain often lead with humility and kindness because they know what struggle feels like. In this way, resilience is not just about becoming tougher. It is about becoming wiser and more humane. Think of the bamboo tree, often used as a metaphor for resilience. For years after planting, you may see no visible growth above the soil. Yet beneath the ground, the roots are spreading wide and deep, preparing to support the tall structure that will eventually emerge. When the bamboo finally breaks through the surface, it shoots up rapidly, reaching impressive heights in a short span. The years of hidden struggle underground prepared it for that moment of rapid growth. Similarly, our seasons of pain are often the hidden root work that prepares us for the heights of success we will later achieve. The truth is, we cannot escape pain. Life will test us, break us, and at times bring us to our knees. But if we learn to endure, we will discover a strength within us that we never imagined we possessed. This strength becomes our greatest asset, enabling us to progress further than we ever thought possible. So, instead of seeing pain as a punishment, let us see it as preparation. Instead of viewing hardship as a setback, let us view it as training. Every painful experience adds another layer of resilience to our character. And with resilience comes the unshakable ability to face the storms of life without fear. In the end, pain is not just the price of progress. It is the builder of resilience, the forger of strength, and the sculptor of character. The progress we achieve is not just measured in external milestones, but in the inner toughness we carry forward. And that resilience, born of pain, is what makes true and lasting progress possible. Comfort is the enemy of progress. One of the greatest obstacles to progress is not failure, not rejection, and not even fear. It is comfort. Comfort feels safe, familiar, and easy. It is a space where there is little risk, little struggle, and little pain. Yet, this very safety is what makes comfort so dangerous. Because when we become too comfortable, we stop growing. Comfort becomes a cage, and although the bars may be invisible, they hold us back from reaching our full potential. Progress, by its very nature, requires movement. It requires leaving behind the old and stepping into the new. But the human tendency is to cling to what we already know. Think about it. Why do many people stay in jobs they dislike, relationships that don't nurture them, or routines that do not challenge them? It is not because they cannot change, but because change feels uncomfortable. The truth is, no one evolves inside their comfort zone. History and personal stories alike show us that every meaningful breakthrough happens when someone dares to step into discomfort. Take Steve Jobs, for example. When he co-founded Apple, it was not a smooth journey. He faced failures, setbacks, and even got ousted from his own company. Yet, that painful experience, leaving the comfort of his roles, sparked new creativity and resilience in him, eventually leading to Apple's renaissance. If Jobs had clung to comfort, the world might never have seen the innovations we take for granted today. In our own lives, comfort often whispers excuses. Why risk embarrassment? Why put yourself through failure? Why not stay where you are? But progress is never found in those whispers. Progress demands that we walk into the unknown, face the discomfort of uncertainty, and accept the pain of struggle. Just like a bird must break free from the safety of its shell, we must break free from comfort if we want to soar. Consider the process of learning a new skill. At the beginning, it feels awkward and frustrating. You make mistakes, you feel clumsy, and you may even want to give up. But that discomfort is proof that you are learning, stretching, and evolving. If you stop the moment it feels uncomfortable, you rob yourself of growth. Comfort might protect your pride temporarily, but it steals your future progress. Athletes understand this truth better than most. A runner who only trains at an easy pace will never improve. It is the discomfort of pushing beyond limits, of sprinting when their lungs burn and muscles ache, that makes them faster. A weightlifter who never increases the weight will remain stagnant. Strength is born in discomfort. In the same way, the muscles of our character, skills, and dreams are only built when we push ourselves beyond what feels easy. The danger of comfort is that it often disguises itself as happiness. A comfortable life may look peaceful, but deep down it creates stagnation. A life without challenges may feel safe, but it becomes empty. Human beings were created to grow, to strive, to progress. Without struggle, our potential remains buried. Without discomfort, our greatness stays hidden. Comfort zones also limit innovation. The greatest inventions, discoveries, and revolutions did not come from people who were content with good enough. They came from those who were dissatisfied with comfort, those who dared to imagine something better, and those who were willing to endure discomfort to make it real. Comfort accepts the world as it is. Progress envisions the world as it could be. So, if we truly want to progress, we must ask ourselves, where am I too comfortable? What am I avoiding because it feels hard? What dream am I delaying because I don't want to step into discomfort? The answers to these questions often point directly toward the path of growth. In the end, comfort is a beautiful place, but nothing grows there. To progress, we must leave behind the familiar shores and sail into the unknown waters, no matter how stormy they seem. The storms of discomfort may shake us, but they will also shape us. And once we embrace the truth that comfort is the enemy of progress, we can willingly choose pain over stagnation, struggle over ease, and growth over safety. Because while comfort may give us temporary peace, Only progress, born from discomfort, gives us lasting fulfillment. Embrace pain as a teacher. If there is one shift in mindset that can transform the way we experience struggle, it is learning to see pain not as an enemy, but as a teacher. Most of us are conditioned to run from pain, to avoid discomfort, and to fear hardship. But if we pause and look deeper, we discover that pain is not here to destroy us. It is here to instruct us, to sharpen us, and to prepare us for greater things. Every painful experience carries within it a lesson. Failure teaches humility, loss teaches gratitude, struggle teaches resilience, rejection teaches self-worth. At first glance, these experiences may seem harsh, even unfair. But once time has passed, we often look back and realize that those very hardships were shaping us into who we are today. In this way, pain becomes one of the greatest educators life has to offer. Take the example of Abraham Lincoln. Before becoming one of the most revered presidents of the United States, Lincoln endured repeated failures, both in politics and in business. He lost elections, faced setbacks, and even battled deep depression. Yet each failure taught him perseverance, patience, and empathy. By the time he rose to lead his nation through its most turbulent period, the lessons carved into him by pain gave him the wisdom and strength to guide with compassion and courage. Without those painful lessons, he might not have been the leader history remembers today. Pain also teaches us perspective. When we face hardship, we begin to value things we once took for granted. The pain of illness makes us appreciate health. The pain of loneliness makes us cherish companionship. The pain of failure makes us treasure success. Without contrast, we cannot fully understand the worth of what we have. Pain is the contrast that reveals life's true colors. More importantly, pain teaches adaptability. When life doesn't go according to plan, when challenges arise unexpectedly, pain forces us to change, to rethink, and to innovate. Think of the countless entrepreneurs who failed in their first ventures, but went on to build thriving businesses because failure taught them what didn't work. Think of students who stumble in their early attempts, only to adjust their methods and succeed later. Pain teaches us that flexibility is not weakness. It is strength. The challenge, of course, is that pain's lessons are rarely comfortable. Unlike a gentle teacher, pain demands attention. It refuses to be ignored. It places us in situations that force us to grow whether we feel ready or not, and yet those lessons stick with us the longest. The things we learn in comfort are often forgotten, but the lessons we learn in pain are etched into us permanently. Consider the Japanese art of kintsugi, where broken pottery is repaired with gold. Instead of hiding the cracks, they are highlighted, turning the broken piece into something more beautiful and valuable than before. Pain works the same way in our lives. It breaks us, yes, but if we embrace its lessons, those cracks are filled with wisdom, strength, and resilience. We emerge not as weaker beings, but as stronger, wiser, and more radiant than before. The secret lies in embracing pain instead of resisting it. Resisting pain only prolongs suffering. But when we embrace it, when we ask, "What is this pain here to teach me?" we shift our focus from victimhood to growth. Pain becomes a guide, pointing us toward areas of our life that need strengthening. So, the next time pain visits you, do not turn it away. Welcome it as a teacher, sit with it, listen to its lessons. Ask yourself what it is shaping within you, because pain does not come to stay. It comes to prepare you, and once you understand its purpose, you will realize that pain was never your enemy. It was your silent mentor, guiding you toward progress all along. In the end, the choice is ours. We can fear pain or we can embrace it. If we embrace it, pain transforms from a burden into a blessing, from a curse into a compass. And when we allow it to teach us, we discover that the very struggles we once dreaded become the stepping stones to the greatest progress of our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, as we have seen, progress has never been free. It has always carried a price tag, and that price is pain. Pain in the form of sacrifice, sleepless nights, failures, rejections, doubts, and discomfort. Yet, hidden within this pain lies the seed of growth, the strength of resilience, and the wisdom of experience. History reminds us that every invention, every breakthrough, every movement that changed the world was built upon the struggles of those who came before us. Pain carved the path for progress then, and it continues to do so now. Pain strengthens us, teaching resilience, humility, and patience. It pushes us out of the safety of comfort zones and forces us to rise higher than we thought possible. Most importantly, when we choose to embrace pain as a teacher instead of fearing it, we realize it is not here to break us, but to shape us into our fullest potential. So, let us stop running from pain and start walking with it. Let us stop cursing the struggles of today and start seeing them as the preparation for the victories of tomorrow. Because the truth is simple yet profound. Without pain, there is no progress. Without struggle, there is no strength. Without sacrifice, there is no success. The price of progress is pain, but it is a price worth paying, and when we are willing to pay it, we do not just move forward. We transform, thank you,